Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Welcome to everybody from Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Janai, no Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Someday we might be on Instagram. Who knows? Who knows? Thank you so much for joining, Jared. It's great to have you.
Good to be here. Thank you.
I'm so excited to talk to you. This is something that I've been thinking about. I think raising a family in Japan, doing loads of trips as a family in Japan with little kids. We had a Honda Vamos for ages, and we kind of used it in like a van life kind of way. Sometimes just put a futon in the back or something. But what you guys are doing is so next level and so beautiful. I'm so excited about what you're doing. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been fun.
Could you tell me a little bit about how it got started? You guys just started last year, is it?
Yeah, so I had the idea for a while. Been thinking about doing we grew up with a family which had a camper van, old vintage a VW, and I just growing up traveling around England that way, and my family moved to Australia. In Australia, I was doing road trips too with friends. A lot of my best memories came from those times. So yeah, after coming to Japan in 2007, I was thinking for a long time it'd be such a good place to have that kind of service, but it's obviously a foreign country with different languages. So I thought if we could make it easy for people and have our own brand and image around it, it could be a really fun company to start. Yeah, but eventually after managing another business, I finally felt okay, maybe now's the time to do this. So yeah, so I jumped in, and that was 2018 October when I decided to focus on it, and we got going. Like we got the rental license, we got all the figure out how to do the shaken or the vehicle registration as a camper, and all those parts going around May 2019 from when we've been actually renting vehicles, and yeah, now we're at 15 vans in the fleet. And yeah, good repeat customers, and things are starting to get going now. So
That's awesome. And so when you started last year, I read somewhere that you started with 4. Is that right?
yes, we had kind of. So we had the first van was my family van, which we converted. Then we had a larger Hiace type. And then we had 2 others. One of them was not. We had 2 friends camper vans we were running and doing a revenue share when we first started, and then we transitioned to just dreamdrive ones we had built. So at first we wanted to test different sizes and get a feel for what the right size to build was, without necessarily having to buy and build them all ourselves and make those mistakes. So yeah.
Yeah. And you guys are all over social media, so very easy to find. You've got a great Facebook page. You've got a great website. You even have like a forum on your website for people to talk about ideas or problems, troubleshooting, or give advice to other travelers, which is quite unusual in terms of like a rental car company. But even like a travel website, you don't often see the forum anymore. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, well, I guess we're just starting that, and the idea was a lot of our customers have been using the van so often they sometimes know places we don't know about. So if we given them a place where they can write about it, it'd be great to do this in a Facebook group. But the Facebook groups, it's like a news feed, so the evergreen information doesn't stay. It's always whatever's posted recently. So yeah, we're just looking for a way to house that information. And it's really important for people when a lot of people are interested in renting a van, they just don't know where to go or what to do with it. So having that information is really important for this kind of business.
Yeah, for sure. I came across a description which I thought was really interesting. I think here you say you are quite near Tokyo, where people go and pick up the van. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're basically Setagaya. So we're on the Daku line. So Kitami Station's the closest station. So it's about 25 minutes from Shinjuku to get to this area. Yeah.
And then
But we also do downtown drop-offs as well,
okay.
for customers who, if somebody wants to just have it dropped off in town, it's an extra fee for now. But we're working on like having more pickup locations in central Tokyo.
Is the aim in the future to have different hubs around Japan? Are you thinking that
Yeah,
big?
that is the goal. It's a bit tricky now with inbound because a lot of our customers are in Tokyo right now. A lot of people who have time and money to travel is probably located around Tokyo. But when inbound comes back, definitely that's a goal. We did have a pickup location at Narita as well, which right now is not really very useful to us. But when the timing's right, we'll be really trying to build that network out more.
And I was really excited, of course, because I'm a geek about sustainability, to read
Mm.
that you are aiming at in the future being carbon negative and running mostly electric vans and
Yeah,
offsetting waste. Is that
I'm
possible?
glad you
That's
found that.
awesome.
First time it's been mentioned. But well, what we do for now is we pay to offset all the emissions already. So although our cars are not carbon negative, like at least we're planting trees. I think we're over 2,000 trees now or something, just as a way
That's
to like
awesome.
offset it, so that when we can be electric, be fully electric fleet, then we don't have to pay that. No, we might still pay it. Who knows? But I think it's just that it's the least we could do because it does involve people driving around. I still like. I'm trying to figure out what's a more sustainable way of travel. It's hard. It's hard to get the exact numbers on that. So that's what we're doing to solve that problem for now.
And
So
and I noticed in your fleet you don't have, even though some of the big vans in Japan are diesel, it doesn't look like any of your cars are diesel. They're just gas, are they?
yeah. No, we do have a few like we have a new diesel engine one, which is a little bit better. But yeah, again, we like it is it there's a mixture to run the parking heaters on the vans for winter. A lot of those technologies operates with diesel. So yeah, so that's why we think offsetting is until the technology is ready. Like when you have an electric vehicle, like an electric van, you can actually you can run the air conditioning and everything off that and all the heating systems, but you need a massive battery pack. We experimented with installing a lot of battery packs into a traditional car to run the air conditioning, but then you have weight issues. It's too heavy to pass the shack in, and there's other issues too. One is it's really expensive, and it's also dangerous is the other issue, surprisingly. But yeah, so it's really the technology is not there, or people aren't really ready to pay the price of rental to achieve it yet. But as battery prices, thanks to Elon, are coming down, we should be at a place where we can be fully electric. And we want to build our foundation of our business ready for that moment when we can transition to that.
That's awesome. You could, I mean, with one of Elon's new Cybertrucks, you could fit quite a nice living room in the back of one of those.
We put an order in right away for that. So.
I bought a Tesla. I have to say, I do love the car. It's awesome.
Well,
I
you can
haven't,
run your battery. You can run the air conditioning all night on a Tesla. It's got the right battery size, which is really cool.
and I
So
I
I've
have,
experienced that.
I have. I went
Nice.
camping this summer with my family, and I couldn't hack how hot it was. And
That's
I ended
great.
up just sleeping in the Tesla, and I was running the AC all night. It was fine.
What percentage of a battery did it use?
Like really low. I was
I heard it was like
worried.
less than 10% when
I
we
was
were researching
worried,
it.
but it was, yeah, it didn't seem to shift much. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you can run an engine, you can run an air conditioner, right? But an air conditioner usually takes about like 500 to 1,000 watts, which is a lot of power for a battery, unless you've got like a Tesla amount of battery in it. So
Well,
yeah,
I
we've
I
been learning a lot
had
about
I
batteries this
had
year.
a K car, right? I had
Oh,
like
okay.
a tiny, well, Honda Vamos. And when you ran the AC in hot summer, it basically didn't work unless you were sat right next to it. So this is a real treat having a Tesla, a car that actually works properly.
Yeah.
Sabrina says, very cool. I didn't know about the planting of trees. Awesome. You guys should publicize that more. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's too much of a humble brag at this point for us. I think for us to publicize that, we have it on the website for people who are curious. For
I
us,
found
to me,
it.
it's like a cost of business
Yeah.
nowadays. I think you should. It doesn't cost that much to write it off. So that's kind of how we see it. I think we did one public. Yeah, we should. I need to think about a better way to do that really.
You
But
should
there's
have
so many
it.
things we're doing.
You should have it on the About Us page. Just have a little brag on your About Us page. I had to look through the announcement about your company, and I found it. So
Oh, right.
yeah, I was really happy.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome for what I'm doing with the series. I'm really happy that I found that. Are there electric vans at the moment in Japan?
There is one type. It's the Nissan. Well, they don't make it anymore, but Nissan. So Nissan NV 200, I believe, is a Nissan made electric van. The battery size is not as big as a Nissan Leaf, which is quite good. It's a really good electric car. It's more made for like running around Tokyo. So you wouldn't get very far out of Tokyo before you're recharging, basically. Japan's got a great network of charging stations for electric vans, but we just don't have any options for actual vans. So yeah, Mitsubishi's working on one. We've been talking to overseas electric van makers as well. Like we're really like trying to figure out a way to do that, but I feel like we might have to wait a few more years until there's really any realistic options
Yeah.
for doing it. But as soon as there's an option, we'll be all over that.
Well,
So
I'm always so surprised how Japan's not really all in quite yet with electric vehicles. Like everywhere
yeah,
else, other countries, they're all in. Like everybody's going for it. But Japan has a great charging network.
yeah,
You know, it's
yeah, it's
actually a
true.
really good place to drive around. So once they have some good electric cars, I think it's really going to take off.
Yeah, no, I think so. And maybe Tesla might even like yeah, it might be the Cybertruck we have to wait for. Like I think Tesla's the kind of company which might have scale quicker than I hope. I'm a bit of a Tesla fanboy, so I don't have one. Obviously, I started the company instead.
Well, I did
But
see, I don't know if you could retrofit it to a Tesla Model 3, but I did see one of your ideas is a pop tent on top.
yes,
Can you
yes,
basically put that on any car?
yes, within reason, you could put on a Tesla, I believe, as long as you got roof racks. Yeah,
Wow.
don't take my word for that. But for ones we've got, yes, I haven't checked for every car, but I think it'll be fine on a Tesla. Because Teslas are built to withstand a lot of weight in case it rolls, so it should be fine. Is the official word.
Very exciting. I
What
like
Tesla do
it.
you have? Just to bring it over, we can do a conversion for
Yeah,
you.
that'd be fun. If I drive up around Tokyo, I'll definitely bring it over.
All
You've
right.
got a great team. Can you introduce the rest of your team?
Sure. So we've got 9 people full time now. Half of our team is in the workshop building. The other half's in the office doing marketing or content. Uh, like I founded a team and brought in some guys who became co-founders. So we've got like Tyson was the first guy I pulled in. He's the COO. His background is in filmmaking, and he helped. He's been making a lot of videos, but also he built some English schools in Japan, some good ones, like My Gym and some other ones like that. I helped them do their marketing and branding and everything. And then we have Andy Klein, who's head of product. He's got more. He has a production background. He came here for Forever 21, building like window displays for APAC. So he ran a team in Toyosu, like a workshop there. So he's got more of that. He can help build and like model 3D model furniture pieces and hit like build like to deadlines at high quality. So he's a really good find. And then like we're about half of our team is Japanese now, half foreign. It was mostly foreigners at first. We had a hard time hiring Japanese craftsmen. That's one thing which Corona helped us with, because we could not find Japanese craftsmen until Corona hit, and then some people lost opportunities. Some of our builders came from set design, like movie production backgrounds, and they stopped making movies. So we snapped them up some really good bilingual talent there. So yeah, and
I was
Motosu.
really I was totally geeking out with the rebuild videos that you guys have. Andy is so innovative in how
Yeah,
he's fitting different wooden decks that can
yeah,
move or adjust based on what your customers want. I
yeah.
didn't realize at first that you guys do a lot of custom builds based on like big customers. Is that right?
Well, we only now like we built some vans which we didn't put in our fleet for brands and different things. But for now, we're only really building vans for DreamDrive. Just on that point, all the DreamDrive vans are not owned by DreamDrive. We have people invest in the vans. We build a van for them, which they get access to, like monthly access to. And then we do a revenue share so that they get some revenue from that. That's kind of how we built our model up till now. So it allows us to keep building vans and have more vans for our customers. So yeah, but we're focusing on building 2 types of models for now: a van for solo travelers and couples, and one van which is for more groups and families. And to get to those 2, we built multiple different sizes and styles until we figured out what was kind of like practical. Like a lot of people are a bit nervous about driving the big ones. Like the biggest van we have doesn't get as amount of bookings as like the big highs we do, which is quite popular. So
yeah, what's the most popular size right now? The 1 to 2 people?
So on weekends, the big ones are popular. But the good thing about the small ones is they also get more midweek traffic. So like the big challenge for us without inbound is how do we fill Tuesdays to Thursdays in the bigger vans? Because with inbound, you'd get people doing like 2-3 week trips. Now it's more 2 or 3 day trips. So that's kind of a problem we're really trying to figure out. And probably the solution to that is found by targeting Japanese people who work for weekends and have some time off midweek, or people like freelancers and so forth. So the busiest ones are the smaller ones actually. But obviously the cost is lower, so you know.
Yeah, we got a comment from Oliver Cromwell. He says, "Jared is my boy." Thanks,
yes.
Thanks for commenting, Oliver. Wheel Woman Cycling says, "Can I fit my bikes on one?" Now, I just watched a video where somebody was doing a bike trip. So
Robert McMahon.
Yeah.
We have a bike rack you can rent actually. Which takes 2 bikes. And yeah, we just had if you check our website, we just had a Bike Tours Japan take a van out and show how you can have that kind of trip. So it's a really good video to watch to learn how to do that yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a great video. I enjoyed that one. So
he does bike tours too. So if you want to try a bike tour Japan does great trips of like he'll do guided experiences, and he also rents like high quality bikes. So if you don't want to put one on the bike and you just want to show up, then we can coordinate with Bike Tour Japan for that. So
that'd be great. I would love to have him on the series and talk more about bike tours. That'd be awesome.
I'll connect you to him.
Yeah, put me in touch. I was geeking out, as I said, about the retrofit, and really impressed at Andy was talking about using metal as well as wood. You guys use a lot of wood. You can see like the whole way around. How did you get like your design ideas, and where does this all come from?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of inspiration nowadays from van life. So we're looking at a lot of these different builds. The issue is like a lot of the vehicle models they're using are not available in Japan. Like the van we'd love to work on is the Toyota Sprinter, but we don't sell that in Japan. You can import them over, but then you're gonna have issues with maintenance and so forth. So that's not really an option. So we kind of gotta be creative. We're definitely influenced by a lot of these kind of ideas, but it's also from our customers using the vans and giving us feedback, and from that we can like think about ways to make the product better. Also, the way we're designing, like the way people use it, is different. Now it's more local market. Like when our Japanese customers use our vans, they like to book a campsite and stay at the campsite and do more cooking experience there. Where when we had inbound, people were staying at like Michinoekis and more kind of just using the vans to cover more distance and see more landmarks. And cooking wasn't so important when we had the inbound because they'd be going to the restaurants. So now we feel we found a good hybrid kind of between that, where we have like a cooking space at the back of the vans. So the back door can act as a natural cover, and you can cook inside or you can open up and have a bit more space to cook outside and enjoy the space a bit more. So we've really been adapting our designs based on the way people use the product.
Does it? I mean, that's really good to just kind of try things that you think would be good. And you guys are always trying it out as well with your
Yeah,
families and driving it around and then giving advice. And your YouTube channel is really
yeah,
fun because there's a lot of great advice as well as, you know, good video footage.
yeah.
Wheel Woman says, awesome, next adventure.
That's right.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and we just launched a Japanese. We just launched our Japanese YouTube too. So I mean, it's a lot of work, but we've kind of got to do content in English for foreigners and content in Japanese, which is separate, which is
I th-
like a big
I
big
think
endeavor.
that's really smart. And I was looking at some of the Japanese videos as well, because the market is very different. But of course, now that your focus is really on domestic, it makes so much sense to have a Japanese video aimed at Japanese
Yeah.
customers and then the Western video aimed at Westerners. I imagine the kinds of things that they want, like you said about eating out or cooking in, it's pretty different,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think expats are kind of similar. Like, they're not always looking to explore Japan. Sometimes they're looking to escape Tokyo. So connecting to nature is like something like maybe my family's looking to do. We just want to get away to a lake on a weekend, maybe. But other times, I think expats also sometimes feel guilty that they've never seen certain areas of Japan. And like traveling and organizing it, even as an expat who's been here a long time, can be a bit frustrating to have to call, to go through that process of like booking the accommodation, the trains, and everything, and lining up for the Shinkansen, and it's can be a little bit like tiring. So just booking a simple van and just going is great. And we've got some customers who book basically monthly. And are using just to like cover more ground and like tick off places on the list, which
Yeah,
is really cool.
that's awesome. Jimmy Seville now says, "What is the cost to rent one of the big ones?" So let's talk a bit about
Yeah.
costs because I've got a picture here for that.
Sure. So on the bigger ones, we've lowered the price for midweek as our strategy to try and push the Tuesday to Thursday bookings more. They're near man a night on the weekend, and we book it like a hotel where it's by the like 3 p.m. Pickup, and then 12 noon checkout. And they can also do early pickup for 4,000 yen, or late drop off for an extra 4,000 yen. So and then on the weekends the price goes up to 2,000. It was a Neiman Roxy yen, just under
So
26,000.
26,000. So
Yeah.
if somebody's not in Japan, let's do a quick conversion. Maybe about $250 a night.
$200 to $250 a night. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's on the bigger vans. But couples, like the ones which are for solo travels and couples, we have one which is like $100 a night, Ichiman. And we have some which are like the main sizes we're doing will be about 1,400. Sorry, $140 to $250 basically. Will be around somewhere in that range. And we try and that kind of it's not so different though to like renting a high ace price. It's around about the same. Yeah, got busy office here today, so I guess.
Yeah.
But
So the Kuma I'm showing right now is just under 20,000. Is that just the weekend price, or does it get a bit cheaper
you're
during
seeing
the
the
week?
weekday price now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a weekday price, just under $200. And then
Yeah. I mean, it must be the perfect time of year to be going around the country when
yeah,
fall, not too cold, not too hot.
now is the best time, I think. Fall from like September, October, November, even into December is really good. We also have like winter customers who go snowboarding with the vans too, um, which is kind of a surprise to me. I never experienced that before starting this business. Yeah. So with inbound, actually the low season with inbound is usually around November, December. But we're hoping this year, because it's more local, that we'll keep there'll be good autumn bookings. Because it is a great time to travel by camper and see. There's some amazing roads and there's great autumn leaves falling. It's like, to me, I prefer it to spring even.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've got one picture on screen right now of it looks like the camper van is parked right on the ski slopes. You've got some coffee going
right.
inside.
Yeah, yeah, same. Yeah, that's in the same van I'm in now, I believe.
Yeah.
On my well, appears I'm in. That was in
Beautiful.
Hakuba.
That's in Hakuba. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. And so, how do you think it compares price wise, taking a family or even a couple going by Shinkansen, having a
Yeah.
place to stay? So, how would you do you think it compares quite well in terms of,
It's the more people. Yeah. Well, usually in Japan, you're paying per person, per ticket, and per hotel room. So if you're if you're traveling with a group, it's much cheaper, and that's what some of our customers have said. Especially when you got families. I have 3 children, so if I travel, like even when I went to Hong Kong and of course in Japan, there's certain hotels which won't even rent me a room anymore. They try and upgrade me to a suite just because I've got 5 humans in my party, which makes it travel very expensive. Um, and I have to pay, like 2 of my kids are over, are the age I have to buy them train tickets. So it, like, even expats are doing quite well. It's hard for them to stomach paying like 500, 600, $7 per day to travel, or per night if they're traveling around. So for them to pay one fee for the camper van, and that's your accommodation and your transportation. And more than that, it also just gives you, it's like it does save money when, especially when you got more than one person, but also it's just a different experience. Because some of these, like if you go to Mount Fuji, you go and see it, then you get back on the car and you get back on a bus, find where's the last train, and it's kind of it's a bit more stressful. You lose that like adventure feel that you get with a camper, where you can just make up your own route and travel freely. And if you're enjoying the sunset, you can stay there. It's kind of a whole different. It unlocks a whole different type of travel, which
yeah,
is what is more exciting to me than the cost saving. But
I think
nowadays,
so.
people are renting cars. If they're renting a car and paying for hotels, then like it's definitely a lot more cost effective to like rent a camper van.
Yeah. Jordan says, nice weather now. I think so too. I think fall
Nice.
or spring for me would be the perfect time to travel around.
We're about to launch. We're about to launch our weather news, which is a scoop. But we've got our official Dream Drive weatherman ready to give like recommendations of where to go camping based on the weather.
Wow,
So that's our
that's
new
cool.
initiative, and
That's a
that will
good
tie into
idea.
our forum. So yeah, so hopefully
Nice.
that goes well.
Jimmy Seville says, now then, does Jared fix up the camper vans himself? So
Not anymore.
I know that Andy looks like he's very hands-on. How many carpenters do you have working?
Yeah, so we've got a few. We've got I did study carpentry, but I haven't touched saw for a while. And even Andy's not. He's designing it, but he's not on the tools as much. We've got like because we're wearing a few hats, right? We've got like full, like basically pretty much full Japanese team in the workshop, like carpenters with like over 8 years experience. 2 guys, a guy who does a metal work who is semi full. He's basically part time in additional to that. Another chap who's got a background in carpentry but is actually Singaporean. And yeah, so it's about 4, basically, including Andy. There's 5 guys who are like working that area for now. So.
Yeah. And how long does it take to renovate one of the vans?
Well, when we're doing a new design, like right now, we're doing 4 vans at a time. We're doing new designs on them, so it slows things down a bit. Once we've got the design down and we're recreating it, we can move pretty quick. We can do it in less than a month, a few weeks. But yeah, part of our goal is to like figure out how we can optimize that. But a lot of our work is actually on the regulations of how you pass it, weight regulations. This information is really hard to learn, and yeah, that can be some of the things that slow you down a bit when you first start trying to renovate a van.
I bet. Well, like you said, once you renovate it, you have to get it checked again. Is that right?
Yeah. So the size of vehicle we're doing, the large Grand Cabin size high ace. A normal bus version you can't actually drive on a normal car license. So we changed the classification of a vehicle it's a six-seater. These ones can seat up to 14, I believe. So we reclassify it as a six-seater. It's about the maximum size the average person would want to drive. And yeah, and that obviously we're basically changing the classification of a vehicle, which actually makes it cheaper to go through toll roads and makes insurance cheaper too, but is a little bit complicated.
Yeah. Well, one of the, in terms of road assistance and stuff, I really like the video that, was it Travis did about emergency numbers and stuff? Tyson,
Yes. Yeah, no, he's yeah. I mean, nowadays it's not so tricky with mostly locals. We had a lot more complications when we had the inbound market here. People who haven't driven on the same side of a road before, people having to have a right driver's license. But with one good thing about the dealing with locals is that we don't have to explain it as much how to drive here. Most people have got an idea. So yeah, but before we were doing a lot of content and hand holding on that side of the business too.
yeah, I was happy to see Jaff mentioned. I'm a big Jaff fan, have been for many years, but I have no idea now that I drive an electric car whether they could help me if I run out of charge. I'm
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I
assuming
wonder
they
what happened.
can. I
That'd be a
don't
good
know.
live stream.
Yeah,
That'd be a good live stream
I'm gonna
show.
have to find out sometime. I'm
Yeah.
getting pretty close. I didn't buy the long range, so sometimes I get pretty close to running out of charge. We will see.
Just make sure to live stream it when you do it.
Oh,
And we
I'll
can
have
all
to.
find out
I'll
together.
have to. Nigel has a good question here. Nigel Farage, do you allow animals in them? They look like some nice campers to go dogging in around Japan. I have not been dogging in a camper since the 80s around Yorkshire at some of the best camping spots.
Don't know what. Okay. Interesting languages used, but the yeah, we do have two vans available for pets. So yeah, and we're trying it out. Not as popular as we thought it would be. I think it will be when we get more of the content up in Japanese. But not so many expats have pet. I guess a bunch of pets. So we're trying it out. Like sometimes we do experiments, see how well it works. But yeah, we've got two of our vans for now, pet-friendly vans, just the bigger ones for now.
I think that would be quite popular because when you want to travel over a couple days and you've got pets, pet hotels are so expensive, and a lot of people like to keep their pets with them. But you can't. I don't think you can stay in a hotel with pets usually. So it seems like a good option.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, a pet friendly, but yeah, was it Nigel Farage?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So is that
some secret hidden message in there?
Secret, yeah.
British people.
Secret message for you, maybe.
Yeah.
So there was an article recently you did with Tokyo Weekender, and you're talking about special precautions that you're doing for COVID. Can you talk about that a little bit?
A lot of that's to do with how we clean the vans. Obviously, our staff is trying to commute without trains. We do need to work. I mean, we're building vans, so it's not like an easy work from home solution. But we do have quite a large office space and open workshop. So part of it is to do how we deal with staff. We also have a lot of masks, which we give to our customers if we need them. And that's not been so necessary recently. Most people have masks now. A lot of it comes out of the cleaners. We were cleaning the vans with our team. We now use a hotel cleaning service, and we've got some extra precautions on like using extra disinfectant between the cleans. So yeah, and I think that's really like wiping down all the like areas, like building that kind of checklist in is an area like Tyson's been managing because he's the organized guy in the outfit. So yeah.
Do you try to encourage people to take their shoes off?
We do have a shoe rack on the Kuma down the bottom, but we don't make a rule of it because realistically people, if it's raining and they're running into the van, it's hard for that to really happen. When people go snowboarding, we do. We try and give a box for them to put the shoes in because it can have a lot of water in the vans, which can be a bit of a mess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but generally we don't be too strict on that.
And then you talked about bike racks. Do you also have like snowboard racks and things?
Yes, we haven't got them yet, but it's something we're doing. We've got roof racks on the cars, and we're gonna be doing a bit more. We're ready for the snow season a bit more this year. So, I mean, the main thing is we're trying to figure out if there's certain spots people want to go to, so we can try and set something up on the other side, like a good spot for them to park, because it can be a bit of mayhem if there's a heavy snowfall and you're in a car. So we're still figuring that out and open to suggestions there. Anybody who's got good connections in Hakuba or good ideas for that. Because some Hakuba is good because the streets are heated. But yeah, it's no matter what car you've got, it can always get a bit iffy on those roads. And some of our high ace, like we of course do snow tires and we supply chains, but it's still like you want to be careful. So we're trying to find a good solution for that.
Yeah, good. And then you mentioned, I think before, that you can fit in summertime, you can fit air conditioners inside. Would that run on like an external battery, you said?
Yeah, so we've experimented with a few things. For this year, because of Corona, we weren't able to get all the parts we wanted to. So we've been updating our vans now, some of the older ones with new equipment like rooftop fans and so forth. Air conditioning is one of the harder problems to fix in for camper vans because they use so much power. We did install it. We've trialed one of our vans. Well, two of our vans had air conditioners. Now one of them does. A lot of people from Tokyo naturally go places which are cooler when camping. So we found like a lot of people are naturally going to like Nasu or like up north or to more like the mountains, mountain lakes. So it hasn't been a bigger problem as I expected, and we're now out of that season. And also, well ventilated. As long as you have good ventilation, we have mosquito nets on the windows. We also have a large mosquito net on the back door and the side door. So when people are camping in campsites, they can open them both up and creates. And rooftop fans are either installed or being installed on the bigger vans. So that creates good circulation of air, which is fine for the most part. But as you mentioned, it can even, like from your experience, sometimes it's just too hot depending on where you are. Where were you camping that time?
In Hiroshima. I'm just a
Okay,
complete wimp, and it was
right.
loud, and I'm old now, so
Well, it
it
gets hot.
was
Like yeah,
music all night.
yeah. With the inbound market, when we had that, people would be going down to Kyoto and stuff in hot height of summer. It's really, and people don't realize how hot Japan is sometimes and why that's a bad idea. But yeah, I mean, I feel like
It's it's
next
kind
year
of
we
it's
have to
kind
give
of
more.
hit and miss, right? Like if you have a
Yeah,
van and you have screens, um,
yeah.
and you're right next to the water, it probably would be fine. But
Yeah, you might be okay in the water. The you what happens in more like established camper van RV markets is you have your air conditioner, but you plug it in at the RV park or the auto camp. And Japan doesn't have that same level of infrastructure. We do have some auto camps which have powered sites, but a lot of them don't. So as we build up our service, like it's something we'll be working on. Like maybe we can have a plug-in site and have a map of places they can go. So it's a problem we can solve.
mm,
But yeah, for now it hasn't been the biggest issue. So yeah.
yeah. Well, we had you mentioned Hakuba. We had Dave Enright, who runs Evergreen Outdoor Center.
No,
And he has restaurants and lodges, I think lodges, but a lot of adventure school and that, a lot of outdoor sports. He might be one to hook up with, to try to
right.
collaborate on something in
Yeah,
Hakuba.
sure.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Sabrina also says, I have a great Hakuba connection. I will call you, Jared.
Thanks, Sabrina. Need that help.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
staying
that's great.
warm in winter, staying cool in summer. These are always camping issues, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Do you guys
I
have
mean,
like,
Japan's great with four seasons. It's kind of always
yeah,
something to do.
yeah. Do you guys have sleeping bags or like big blankets in winter or?
We have heated blankets, so we always wanted to go for a real bed, and that's what I think differentiates us from a normal camper van rental. Camper vans usually have like the folding beds which fold into it, like table and so forth, which are great, but they're not very comfortable. And we wanted to build like the camper van company for people who have never used a camper van before, who want like a good bed. So as you can see in my background, we use like good memory foam mattresses, um, hotel bedding. Like we use a hotel sheets provider, and we don't clean them on site. We get them cleaned by a hotel company. So we really focus on having good beds with good blankets and so forth. We have like a summer blanket we use for summer, which is quite thin. We also have like just a sheet if they just don't. Some people don't want to use a blanket at all. And then we also have like thicker blankets we use in winter and a heated. We also have a heated blanket, electric blanket, which is a good way to keep warm. So yeah, it's something we really focus on a lot. We realize that some people don't realize in summer, some people like right now we're in that weird season where some nights are quite cold, and we have had some customers not realize that there's a blanket, a comforter, which they're sleeping on top of. So they're kind of tucked in neatly, but if you pull it out, there's a blanket there. So
Can you give me an idea of what kind of things people can expect to find inside? So it looks like
sure.
there's a kitchen, like a mini kitchen.
Yeah. So we try and kit it out with all the basic things you need, including like toothbrush, and so forth. We have towels, blankets, pillows. So all the bedding's there. We have basically sauce cups, knives, plates, portable stove. There's of course battery, AC battery, so you can charge laptops, and it's a lithium battery we put in all the vans, so you can charge your devices, which recharges your drive. And we have outdoor camping set like seats, outdoor camping chairs and table, so you can enjoy the outdoors. Water and of course like kettle, a saucepan, washing up kit, sweeping brush, broom. Probably missing lots of things, but all the essentials. We also doing a collaboration with Sonos now for speakers for the big Kumas, so we're putting a good sound system in bed as well. So yeah.
So you can have your own little riverside rave when you're the only one there.
Make sure you're the only one there, then yes.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
look like powerful speakers that you've got
Yeah,
there.
they're great. They sound really good. Design. Yeah, a little bit of a learning curve on how to set it up. So we're rolling them out bit by bit, and but yeah, it's because Sonos usually only works off Wi-Fi. This is their first one that works off Bluetooth, but you still kind of got to set it up to your account first with Wi-Fi. So, but yeah, we're figuring out the kinks there. But
And
it's a really good product.
you don't offer like pocket Wi-Fi in the vans, right?
We're working on that. So part of our push to try and get that Tuesday to Thursday, we're now going to be offering Pocket Wi-Fi. There is companies who post it, so some people will organize it themselves, but we realized we need to organize it for people. So we're going to make it a simple selection for now. And if it's super popular and everybody like uses it and appreciates it, we'll add it to we'll probably add it to the standard price at some point. But we're still testing that now. So.
That's awesome. Well, one of the other things that really attracted me to what you guys are trying to do is the whole push to get people out to the rural areas of
Yes.
Japan and outside of the cities. And I firmly believe that this is the future of travel. Not only in Japan, this is going to be all over the place. But at the moment, accessibility to eateries or accessibility
Mm.
to lodging when you go deep into the rural areas makes what you guys are doing so much more appealing, because you don't have to depend on booking the one ryokan or guest house or something, which is
Yeah.
usually really hard to book anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're kind of opening up the rural areas to people staying longer out there.
Absolutely. And some of our customers will still book up the odd night at Ryokan along the way too. They don't always stay only in the vans. It's just like a more flexible way to travel, so they can kind of choose where they go based on the weather, or based on what's happening somewhere. Uh, and yeah, for festivals, it's been quite popular too. If there's an outdoor festival somewhere, and a lot of time it's rain. It could be raining, and it's not fun to be in a tent when it's raining. Yeah, but we're really passionate about spotlighting all these amazing places which aren't literally. It feels like nobody knows about, or aren't really that appreciated uh, by the locals in the area. just how good it is. Like some of like east coast of Izu, for example, is one of my favorite spots to go. And just amazing water, amazing beaches, great restaurants as well. And a lot of these places are really looking for more tourism, and they've got great restaurants or great places to visit. So we really want to channel people to the places which want the traffic. We're working now, I won't say who, but we're working with some of local prefectures on making content with them, as they like the idea of also directing traffic to the places where they want people to go and trying to make a route. And it's been a good project for us to work on. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I see in the background that you've got wooden plates and bowls. Are you trying
Mm.
to stay away from plastic in what you guys are doing?
Um, yeah, we try and stay away from plastic. We want to use stuff that's durable. We don't use the wooden plates. We moved on to enamel right now, which is just more. It lasts longer. The wooden plate gets scratched, and it's maybe not. It's not quite as good. So enamel's been being quite good. So yeah, we try and stay away from anything single use, of course.
Yeah.
Just try and make it as good as
How
possible.
about sourcing the wood that you guys use? Are you using Japanese wood
Not
or?
Yeah, see, these are some things which are really hard and we're still trying to figure out. Like a lot of the wood we're using until now has been coming from like local homeware home centers, or like we are now getting better connections. Now we've been in the game a bit longer, so we're able to source more premium finishes, which is what we're doing on the 4 new vans now. But yeah, we would love to do repurposed wood, for example, but finding that like a lot of these things are not that popular in Japan, so it's not really a way to do it just yet.
Yeah.
But it's something that we want to move into, of course. So
Yeah. I also being
any wood suppliers reach out. We're always trying to find good wood
Yeah,
suppliers.
we had a few people in the series so far who remodeled old houses, and we remodeled our old house as well. And it's quite hard to get FSC certified wood.
Mm,
It's hard to get domestic wood. It's really hard to get bamboo wood,
yeah,
which you would imagine would be easy because I love bamboo. I would love to have
yeah,
bamboo wood stuff. But
yeah.
yeah, it'd be great if anybody who's listening to this knows a good resource. Please get in touch with Jared. That'd be awesome.
Please.
Recently, you had a great looking trip to Lake Motosu. Do you want to
Yes,
tell us about it?
yes. Yeah, so I mean, for years, my wife, she's Australian, and she loves she prefers the lakes to the oceans, which is quite rare for Australian. We live near Fraser Island, which has got some great lakes in Australia, but the we were always trying to find something close to Tokyo, and it shocked me that Lake Motosu is such a good option for that, and less than 2 hours drive away from Tokyo near Mount Fuji. So we went there, and they've got a great camping spot site right across the road where you just show up. It's 1,000 yen, and it's quite pretty. We had deers frolicking next to us as we woke up. So yeah, I really recommend that as a first trip. It's a great place to spend a night or two. And yeah, there's so many great places not far from Tokyo for like a good midweek getaway from Tuesday to Thursday or weekend. Our beautiful cat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he wants to be in the shot. You also saw a yellow submarine. It looks like.
yeah. Why not? I mean, Japan's always got some um, random things to see. Bat caves as well. Good onsen around there. So
Wow.
I really like. I mean, Mount Fuji is such a iconic place. I never get sick of seeing it. So it's a perfect first trip. Yeah, so highly
It's
recommend
it's
trying
such
it.
a. I mean, it's so different from the go-to campaign and getting people on trains, getting people on airplanes. You know, if you guys are a family and you're traveling together in a van and camping, you know, I think these kinds of options are definitely the near future of travel for sure while we're fighting coronavirus. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, sure. No, I think it's a really good, safe safer. There's no, safer way to travel and kind of be in control. Like, I think even going to like hiking spots can be great. That you can camp on the trailhead, and if you pack your food with you, you can really like almost see nobody on the way, and have a good safe getaway. So yeah, definitely highly recommend trying it out.
Yeah.
Also, renting cars and can be another good way, and with a tent is of course a great way to travel too. Takes a bit
Yeah.
more planning though. You need to have a campsite somewhere, but I think there's lots of great options for that as well. So yeah.
That's great. And you've mentioned about doing like a car share system as part of what you're doing. That sounds like a great business model. Could you explain that a little bit more?
Sure. So yeah, so revenue, it's more of a revenue share. So like the vans, we have a rental car license. So the vans are, if people, instead of owning a van in Tokyo where the parking is so expensive and the insurance costs are high, and camper vans are maybe only used like, two trips a year. So some of our van partners, basically they're investing in DreamDrive to build a van for them. So we'll source a camper van which is a few years old. We'll do a renovation, and then we do like a revenue share on the bookings with van partners, and they also have like access to use it, and they can get a tax deduction from that as well if you have it set up right. So we feel it's a good way for us to do like that kind of share economy. But our van partners don't have to do. It's not like Airbnb where we have to do cleaning or meet people and hand them the keys. Like we can operate that from our depots. So it's kind of they get. To me, it's a better way to own a camper van. So it's something that we've now got 11 van partners. So it's something we're getting more and more used to managing and improving that. So yeah. So reach out. There's on our website. There's ways to contact us for that. Right now, there's a bit of a backlog though, because we've been updating vans and we've got a few in production, but happy to connect with people. We also have Friday nights, 6 p.m. We do like an open workshop. So reach out to us if you want to come and hang out and see some of the vans, meet the team, for that. So yeah.
Every Friday.
Yes, almost every Friday. Just reach out to us if you want to join.
Yeah.
We'll it's usually happening. If it's raining, sometimes we take a rain check. But yeah,
That's a great idea. I met a woman in California who is helping change the shipping trucks to electric in California, and she does the
oh
same thing. Every Friday she has like an open day and people come and check it out, because
wow
when you're doing things that are so new and innovative, it really helps people get invested when you
yeah.
just have an open day. I think it's an awesome idea.
No, it's helpful, especially, and people sometimes just want to come and see the camper vans before they book it, because they've never done it before. Not everybody grew up with camper vans. I think it's quite a rare experience, but I think it's going to hopefully become a lot more common for the next generation, because it's a great way to travel. So
That's awesome. Well, we have 6 more minutes.
okay.
What do you have planned for the future? Do you have future aims in the works?
Yeah, I mean, we really want to see, like, with electric vehicles coming in, we see a lot of options for this to just be a much better experience for everybody, much more sustainable way to travel, and a part of our goal is to build more of an ecosystem. For one, when inbound comes back, like near the airports, to have like base camps where people can pick up the vans, but also use it as a hub to like get their vans cleaned, hang out, and connect with other like-minded people. Not the best time for that right now, but in the future. And we feel that kind of model. We'd hope to do this in other parts of Asia at first, as a great way to explore some of these amazing places. So yeah, I love what we're doing. I think the team's having a great time. So I feel we're gung ho on just seeing this. More and more people experience this type of travel.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And you're bilingual at the moment. Any plans to go into a third language, offer services in Chinese or?
Yeah, so Tyson is a Canadian guy who's raised in China in a way, so he speaks Chinese. But the issue with the mainline Chinese customer cannot drive in Japan, so we'd have to offer some kind of like driver or something, like a larger bus maybe, Rockstar tour bus or something. Who knows? But we do plan to cover more languages. We've had good engagement with the French, Spanish customers. Also, and then also like Chinese speaking Taiwanese. Yes, Taiwan's a good market. People from Hong Kong. So yeah, that's something we can manage with what we've got now.
Yeah, that's good. And
I'm sorry.
in terms of people who are plant-based or people with dietary requirements
Sure.
and who want to cook for themselves, there's also that added benefit of having that small kitchen, right?
Yes, being able to cook. Like my wife's vegan. Well, she's plant-based. Is what she makes me say. But and it's always been we're always looking for those options as we travel, like where to recommend people to go. And yeah, being able to cook is important. That's the best way to do it, really. If you really want to know what you're eating. And the cool thing about like the network of Michinoekis around Japan is they have produce from the local regions, which can be quite fun to cook. So there's a lot more like we're really looking at new options that a camper van opens to people. If it's like food they can cook, and we're looking to we might be working with some interesting partners soon on offering better cooking kits. And also experiences like the road biking or climbing or hiking or stand-up paddleboard, surfing. There's so many cool things it unlocks. Either we can put it in the van or we can partner with people who have experiences in different places. So yeah, that's the fun part of the business, which hopefully we can spend more time focusing on as things pick up. So.
That's awesome. And of course, not only dietary requirements, but also traveling with kids. Kids are fussy, right? So we have made the mistake of paying a fortune to stay somewhere which included beautiful food that they just would not eat, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm well versed. They need their sausages and cheese and chips.
Very simple taste when you're a kid, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, so I mean that's the great thing about traveling with children is you've got a fridge. If they fall asleep, you can leave them sleeping. You can put the food in the fridge, heat it up later. It just creates a much less stressful. When you got 3 children on the trains, it's actually pretty embarrassing sometimes, and stressful. I don't think really Tokyo is designed for 3 kids, so cars make it way more enjoyable to travel for me. So yeah, so
me too. Plus I like driving, and you can get to so many areas of the country that are really hard to get to with public transport.
No, some of the best. I think the best parts. We don't have. It's not usually next to a train station. A lot of travel is like you Shinkansen into like Sendai, which is kind of a copy paste of Shinjuku, on a budget. And I think having a camper van, but when you're in Sendai with a camper, you go out of the town. There's so many more amazing places around Tohoku to see. So yeah, it just gives you options. I've stayed in Sendai in a camper van in the city in paid parking, and it's not. Maybe in those times it's nice to be in a hotel, right? But it allows me to keep traveling and keep going that way. But yeah, it definitely. They unlock so many more options, better options than that.
Yeah. Do you have the ETC readers in the car?
We do, and we also provide rental ones for people who don't have an ETC so that we can pay afterwards. It just makes it a lot more easy to travel.
So much easier to go through. For anybody who doesn't know,
cheaper too.
That's the toll system. So it's automated toll. You don't have to wait in line and have your change and have your receipt. It just, you pay automatically. And usually it's cheaper, right?
Yeah, you get a discount, and sometimes significantly. Like the bridge, sometimes the prices change. It's always cheaper. Like the bridge across from, I forget what it's called, across from Chiba to Tokyo. I think it's like 4,000 yen if you do it for cash, but it's like 1,000 yen for ETC or something around there. So yeah, sometimes it's definitely worth having. So it's something we provide. We were providing for inbound customers, which the local customers also sometimes use. So sometimes people forgot it. Yeah, it's good to have a backup. Yeah. happens. Yeah,
Oh my
so
gosh.
it isn't necessary. So
What kind of problems have you had? Anything? Keys.
everything. Yeah, I mean, yeah, on the yeah, cars crashed, or key like flat batteries and people leaving like the headlights on, even though we have a separate battery for internal of a van, people left headlights on. Anything that could go wrong's gone wrong. But we've got great roadside assistance included, which we can dispatch. Um, so yeah, we haven't had any we haven't had anything like major accidents yet. So yeah,
Knock on wood.
yes, we've had cars written off, but we
Oh,
have
oh my
no
gosh.
no one's been hurt, at least. So,
Is it
yeah.
a hassle getting insurance to cover?
Oh, it is expensive. Not really a hassle. It's just hopefully as we get larger, those costs will come down. So it just feels with this kind of business, you got to get once you get quite large, it's these things get cheaper.
Yeah.
But when you're small, it's like quite expensive to get it off the ground. So yeah,
That's pretty much true for many things in Japan, don't you think?
yeah, no, definitely.
Well,
So
thank you so much. That was so interesting, and I'm really excited for all the work you guys are doing. I hope I can drive up and you can retrofit a camper on top of my Tesla.
all right,
I'd love
inside,
that.
pull out all that interior.
I'd love it.
Easy. Very happy to do that.
Thanks so much, Jared. Thank you,
Well,
everybody,
thanks for
for
your time.
joining. We had some good
Thanks, guys.
questions today. Nice comments. Everybody,
Yes.
take care and join us again tomorrow at 5
All right, thanks,
for
guys.
the next
Bye.
talk. Thanks so much. Bye.